Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I'm coming to you from my car, so I hope this works okay. I apologize. It's one of those days when I'm on the run, but I didn't want to miss coming to you. And I wanted to share something related to a class that I did last night. So during the holidays, our emotions can really take a beating. If we've had some trauma throughout the year, if we've lost somebody and this is the first time we're going through the holidays without them, if being with family dredges up some unforgiveness or some bad memories for you, sometimes our emotions just kind of go wonky during the holidays. And so last night I actually did an oils and emotions class that stemmed from a Bible study lesson that I had done with the ladies Bible study group at my church on forgiveness, and how the Lord's Prayer is one of the many places that we are commanded to forgive those that have sinned against us. And so that's kind of where this stemmed from. But the class last night was just beautiful, and I got to thinking how appropriate it is for this holiday season, and this week in particular, when we're probably going to be with family, and we're probably going to be missing some family that aren't able to be with us. So I just wanted to share a little bit from the class that I did last night and try and keep it at 15 minutes. And I don't have my timer in the car with me, so I'm going to have to just be careful and watch what I'm doing. But so this is a script that I kind of adapted a little bit from Sarah Harnish's script book, but I'm also using this lovely book called Truth Drops by Stacey McDonald. And so I did a little lesson, and then last night we actually did one of her emotional release sessions with oils last night at the class. So if that's something that interests you and you would like me to do that again for you and your friends, just let me know. I am happy to do that. Also, I have a cute little pamphlet here on emotions that comes from 31 Oils, I believe. So that's Jen O'Sullivan, and it has lots of ideas for oils to use for certain emotions. So for example, anger into love, or confusion into clarity, fear into courage. So this pamphlet is a really good resource for you. And if you are not on somebody else's team, you can request this, and I will send this to you as well. So what I shared last night was that one of the most powerful uses for oils is for the brain and our emotions. And it's where oils really get to show off. You need to be careful, though, to only use authentic and pure oils. And I use the word authentic because we don't want anything going in your diffuser that you don't want directly in your brain. The source of your oils makes a huge difference. So if you have tainted, cheap oil that you've gotten at a big box store or the grocery store, it's probably full of synthetics and fillers, and it's probably not chemical free. One of my friends said Young Living is the company that I love, but I only use their Vitality line in my drinking water, and I use less expensive oils in my diffuser. And I'm thinking, why, of all places, don't do that, because that goes directly to your brain. When you diffuse an oil, you get it in your body faster than any other method. So not to mention, you don't just get it in any part of your body, but it goes directly to the center of the brain in 3 seconds. Now, that's 3 seconds for diffusing. It takes 26 seconds to absorb topically through the layers of the skin and the muscle tissue and all of the body's defense systems and the blood system. So it has to be dispersed through the circulatory system when you're using it topically. But when you are diffusing it into the air, it bypasses everything, and it enters the navel cavity and passes the blood-brain barrier. So right through the nose. They are the fastest moving. So I really don't want you using cheap oils in your diffuser and going straight into your brain. So why do you think that the grocery store can sell oils so much cheaper than Young Living? The farms that grow those plants most likely use pesticides and chemical fertilizers so that they get more money for their, or more product for their money. They probably distill with chemicals to get more oil out of fewer plants, and they most likely add synthetic fillers to make their oils less expensive. Some even add fake fragrances to make the plant oil smell more like candy, like the cinnamons and the mints are some that are the most prolifically alterated. So I don't want to use a plant product that's full of chemicals going into my brain. Do you? It's just not a good idea. So back to discussing the oil molecules and how they work. So how can they travel to the brain so fast? Part of the reason is because of their size. Oil molecules are smaller than viruses, and that means they can cross the blood-brain barrier and have access to the limbic lobe of the brain, which is the emotional control center of your entire body. So it's kind of like the dashboard of your car. You can check on your gas and your oil and your speed and just about anything at a single glance. Well, if I'm working on my emotions, the limbic lobe is where I would be checking the dashboard and hanging out. If I had to choose a second spot for some work to do on my emotions, it would be the gut. Now you're probably thinking, the gut? And do you know that the gut is called our second brain? So a healthy gut is a whole other class. And if you're interested in that information, let me know, because I can send you a replay of a gut health class. But yes, a gut health has a lot to do with our emotions. So what will these oils help with? So you got a grumpy kid or a cranky teenager? Do you not handle stress very well? Does an incident from your childhood still have you afraid of the dark? Are there painful memories that you hold on to that keep you from moving forward? Do you find yourself at the mercy of your emotions to the point where they affect your day-to-day life? No, it's not. I'm not saying that any one oil will cure these things that I just mentioned, but they do get into the limbic lobe and help your body do some purging, so it helps your body start the healing process. So here's a little bit about just a few of the oils that I had available at my class last night and that you might want to consider using for emotional support. Now, if you think that these application methods that I'm getting ready to read to you sound strange, there is a scriptural basis for these. Leviticus 14:28 says, "And the priest shall put some oil that is on his hand, on the lobe of the right ear of him who is to be cleansed, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot, in the place where the blood of the guilt offering was put." So there are specific places where oils work the best for emotions and for certain things. So one of the oils that we talked about and we used last night is forgiveness oil. And forgiveness oil is one that you should apply around your navel with your right hand going clockwise several times. And the reason it says that is when you imagine going clockwise, you're getting the oil spinning in a clockwise motion. And when you envision a picture of a DNA, it looks like a spinning ladder. Have you seen that kind of a picture? So when your oils are spinning clockwise, it spins right up that DNA ladder and it gets right into your system much, much quicker and much more effectively. So when we apply things, we usually apply them in a clockwise manner. So forgiveness oil is one that you should apply around your navel. And, you know, we beat ourselves up when we make mistakes, and unforgiveness is one of the most common roots of physical, mental, and spiritual disease. Unforgiveness does not make the offending party sick. It makes us sick. So Young Living founder Gary Young says, "Forgive yourself for allowing the person to affect your health and happiness. Secondly, forgive the other person for any harm he or she may have caused you. This need not be done directly with the person being forgiven, but just as an inner adjustment on your part. Number 3, give the other person permission to forgive you. Don't block their forgiveness. Number 4, see the good in the situation. Number 5, be thankful for the experience and the lesson that it has taught you. Inhale and apply forgiveness oil while going through these steps, and then repeat as often as necessary to clear the feelings of unforgiveness." Another oil that we discussed and used last night was release oil. And what it says about release oil is negative energy goes into the blood and then into the liver where the toxins can remain trapped. The liver becomes a storage place for anger, resentment, bitterness, hatred, jealousy, envy, addictions, and a host of destructive feelings. Apply a few drops of release oil over the liver area and then make sure that you're drinking lots of water, and you might even consider doing a liver cleanse. And if you want more information about a liver cleanse, let me know, because I can send you a replay of a class we've done on liver cleansing as well. A third one that we talked about and used last night is Valor oil. So you can put Valor oil on the soles of your feet at nighttime, and it helps balance and equalize the body's energy, and you'll wake up in the morning more self-assured to start the day. You can also use it first thing in the morning to help you if you're just feeling one of those days when you're dropping everything and you just feel a little bit off. You can just apply some Valor oil on your wrists and just kind of hold your wrists together for a few minutes, and it just kind of balances that energy out. It's just amazing how these oils are so smart and they work so well. So how do these oils work? Well, if you look at a single molecule, it contains hundreds of constituents. Some of them go by names like aldehydes and esters. Those two in particular are calming to the central nervous system. They allow us to relax instead of the body building and storing all of those emotions. One reason that oils work for emotions is simply because of the constituents that they are naturally made of. Those little molecules help the plants process stress. That's what they were created in the plant to do. Plants deal with stress all the time. They have to weather storms, bacteria, fungus, wind, flooding, droughts, insects, etc. God created them with oleoresins containing these constituents to keep the plants safe and to help them heal. So why not harness those constituents for human emotions? And you might be thinking, well, aren't emotions just emotions? I cry and it's over. I tuck it away. I forget the pain of something hard. And that's absolutely not the way the body was designed to handle it. So, let's see. I've lost my place. Excuse me, just a second. Here we go. We can see scientifically in the human body how these oils can help us. You might try to block out the emotion because it was uncomfortable, but most of the time something is getting stored in your body. When an emotion happens, your body enacts its fight or flight senses and activates the endocrine system. Your hormones kick into high gear and flood your body with adrenaline. You can visibly see it happen when you have a strong enough microscope. It's trauma. We have felt that when our heart rate is elevated watching our favorite sports team. So what happens after the trauma? Well, the body releases some of it. It ignores some of it. It stores some of it far from the brain and the heart as it can. Some of it's left to fester like wounds that never heal. Did you know that the average cell can expand up to 600 times its size with toxins? When we think of toxins, we think of just using bad shampoo full of chemicals or making some not so great choices in the ice cream store. But emotions can be toxic too. The memory storage gets flooded with the hormones that can cause the emotions to get recalled again and again. Sometimes it triggers lifelong health issues like panic attacks and anxiety. Some would argue that toxins stored in certain parts of the brain can cause actual pain, like back pain. They can get stored in weak places where you've already had an injury. The idea that emotions can be physically stored is kind of a bit of an unusual concept, so let me explain it in simpler terms that you're more familiar with, maybe. The body can take these kinds of protective measures all the time. You're aware of some of them. Kidney stones, liver stones, gallstones, they are all a buildup of toxic substances that can calcify into hardened stones and have a chemical reaction that encapsulates them into the organs, causing trouble. We just never have thought of any of those toxins as starting with emotions, but they most certainly could be. So let's talk about, just real shortly, and I know I'm just about out of time, let's talk about a related concept of dealing with emotions, and that is the spoken word. The way we speak to ourselves is powerful. biblical. The concept of words of life is biblical. Proverbs 15:4 says, gentle words bring life and health. A deceitful tongue crushes the spirit. Now, did you notice the word and health in that sentence? I didn't say it. The Bible did. And then Proverbs 16:24, kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. Oh, there's that health link to speech again in scripture. Then Proverbs 18:4, a person's words can be life-giving water. Words of true wisdom are as refreshing as a bubbling brook. And 1 Peter 3:10, if you want to enjoy life and see many happy days, keep your tongue from speaking evil and your lips from telling lies. So do you see a pattern here? Repeatedly, God equates the way you feel with how you speak and are spoken to. And I do realize that it can be really hard to get your head in a place where you speak life over yourself, especially if you've been abused and beaten down, if you've lost hope and forgotten who you are, which, by the way, is a daughter of the King. You are anointed, and it's time for you to speak freedom over yourself. So last night, the next thing that we did was we took this Truth Drops book, and I read a little bit of the intro about how she came up with these, the process of these little sessions. And then we actually did one of the sessions with oils. So if this is something that interests you, I will put a link to this book below this video. And if you want any further information, you can let me know. And if you're interested in getting any emotional support oils, several of them are actually in our Black Friday sale this week. So I will also post the Black Friday sale link below this video. And again, if you've got any questions, please reach out and let me know. I'd be happy to talk to you about these things. Bye-bye. Hope you have a great day.